Are you kidding me? The guy asked for something spooky.
Is it a gun that sucks balls?
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
You gotta get 4 balls or something?
Like dick piercings?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon.
Still sexy. How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
I'll just kill some random dude.
Just wishing-
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Plotty Time. This week, we're doing what we do every year. We're wrapping up the entire year. This time, it is season 4. Fucking 4. We did 4 years of this.
4 too many.
Yeah.
That's a lot. We're going to talk about the top 6 games that we reviewed in 2022.
Oh.
Yes, I know. Usually we do top 5. But guys, I don't know how we did it, but we've got a 3-way tie for 4th.
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't. They're all the same score.
Yeah.
That would make a tie.
We've never had a tie before, though. This is
I
wild.
think we had a tie for 5th once.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah, who
Listeners,
cares?
Go in the Wikipedia. Let us know. But basically, what we do for these episodes, if you're new to these episodes,
Phone it
or
in.
if you're old to the podcast and you don't feel like putting up with us, we're going to run down the top 6 games that we reviewed this year by score. This is not the games we loved personally, individually.
Just heard that last week. Come on, man.
Yeah. Go listen to it again. Get those download numbers up. I want Manscaped to call us back. So...
But really.
So we're going to talk about these games briefly. We're going to talk about what we learned. We're going to talk about who picked that game. We're going to talk about when it was released and basically what we remember about it, what we liked about it, what we disliked. And then we're going to play a clip from that episode so you guys can hear, everything we talked
Nice.
about.
Oh, sweet. Do we have a clear winner on who picked the highest games this year again?
Oh, we absolutely do.
Of course we do.
We absolutely
Like
do.
every other year?
Yeah, it's not even fun anymore. I'm going to have to start picking really good ones.
We have, okay, this is some real inside baseball for you listeners out there, but I have this thing, it's called a spreadsheet.
Whoa.
It has everybody's score, it has our combined score, it has who picked the game, total score, all of that really
You
fancy
guys
shit,
want to see it.
You guys both have access to it. Syintist, Chump Slap,
How many times do we have to go over this?
they're not going to look at it. We got it. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Poppascotch, and it's season 4 by now. You should notice.
If this is your first episode, you're doing it wrong.
Then you're in a weird spot if this is your first episode. I will tell you that much. I like your style.
Yeah, that's unique.
That is a unique worldview. So, guys, you just want to get into it, talk about the top 6 games we reviewed in 2022.
All right. Yeah. Start us off
fuck it.
with
You know I
number
want to.
4.3.
So this is weird because these 3 games that have all tied with a score of 36, that is the magic number. 3 different games coming in with the exact same score of 36.
That doesn't seem very high for an end of the year thing, but whatever.
But
which is good enough for
yeah,
4th.
well, coming in at number 4.
I listed these in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So that's just the order we're going in for fucking record-keeping purposes. It's like golf, we got 3 number 4s here.
3 4s.
First one coming in at 4.3, as you said, Second Sight.
Ooh.
Ooh, what the hell was that?
That was a good. It was about the guy who he was psychic and he went into Russia to rescue people. And he kept changing the past, changing the future.
Didn't you fight some dude? Like, was it your clone? Or like the you fought them or the mirror version of you? The mirror you?
I don't remember if it was your clone, but you kept changing the future by
Right. And then
Doing
it was all, oh, well, you can't change fate anyway. at the end.
'cause you had the power of precognition, so you were seeing through.
Well, you were seeing through all the time. Yes. That was fucking a really neat
was a good
story.
game.
Was this the one that took place in the Russian base?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was
something completely
Yeah,
different.
they were going through the base. There was a lot of time travel talk here, and you didn't understand it
Yeah. Until the end.
because the base was the present, and everything he would see in the future, he would be changing while he was in the present.
Yeah. And he saw his friends die.
Yeah, but they didn't actually because he saved them.
Yes. Because that's why he thought he was going back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I'm seeing it because my notes keep saying back in the past.
Yeah.
Back in the present. This is what's happening. Okay. Gotcha.
You kept saying it was a time travel game, but it's not about time travel at all.
It's not. It's about, who knows,
It's about life. It's about
Man, it really is. It's deep.
the spoken word. It's about flowers.
What would you do if I didn't
sunsets.
remember games that we did?
It's gonna get rough because I'm looking at this list and I remember most of these, so I think we're gonna be okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I got nothing.
Oh no, I think the rest of them will know, like as a group. Second Sight was a Syintist pick, so 1 point to Syintist.
Yeah.
It was episode number 166, and it aired way back in April 14th, 2022.
Ooh.
I feel like most of the high ones we did early.
But if 36 is high, then
Yeah, you're right.
Because at least other years were like 50s.
Yeah.
We certainly did a lot of mid-range stuff this year.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all pretty average.
Yeah, we didn't hit any blockbusters.
Yep.
No, because I think even for the bottom 5 games, if you look at the numbers, like overall, they're better than previous. Actually, no, I'm completely lying. They're not even close.
Yeah, they're not quiet, man, but
Yeah, we got like 10 to 35.
Dude, the second year we did this for 2020, our bottom scores were like 11, 12, 15. Man, how times change, right? Now we're only in single digits. All right. Well, now you can, we're going to play a clip, Second Sight. You can always go back, listen to the episode. Really helps us out if you re-download it. But here we go. This is us talking about Second Sight.
the lab's on here somewhere. And you eventually, you do a random bunch of things, like set snipers up and do a bunch of crap. Eventually, you flash back to the present. You find out that everybody on the team lived. It wasn't dead like you thought. You're like, what?
You think you'd be used to this shit by now?
Yeah, because it's happening the entire time.
Yeah.
And then, you find out they were all scapegoats for this psychic project and that the children were underneath the town. And the NSE came on and it was Project Zener, where they were going to steal all of Grenko's stuff and bring it to the United States and use his research on, children and psychic stuff to do stuff there.
They were creating super psychic soldiers.
Yes.
Yeah, so the plan's coming into place. This is why he was so important, but the government didn't say why.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they knew that he was doing psychic soldiers, or if they just got wind that this is some revolutionary wild ass war shit you need to be aware of.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Men Who Stare at Goats. Like, the Russians are doing some shit, so we got to do some shit.
Yeah, it's like we heard the Russians are psychically linked and talking to animals to blow up their hearts. So I don't know, let's get a group together, guys. We gotta fight fire with fire.
Exactly, that's what it felt like.
But anyway,
Red Scare. So many adults did so much dumb shit.
Yeah,
What are
they're
they
not
thinking?
getting smarter either.
No, that's a damn shame. Any hoodles.
So the army is there and they're removing all the stuff to the NSE headquarters in New Jersey. Well, this is in the present day.
Sure.
And you're like, well, I got to go. I want to see what Hansen's doing there. So you travel from New York to New Jersey and you get to the NSE headquarters. And my favorite part here is when he walks in, he's like, hey, I want to see Hansen. He's like, who are you? Dr. John Vatic. And then he kills him.
Yeah. So why did you even answer?
Yeah.
It's like, hi, I'm John Vatic. I'm here to see Hansen. Sure, let me check if you have an appointment. Oh, shit. And then, bam, you're dead.
Yeah.
That was a fun moment.
And he doesn't even use his
What
psychic
did he
powers.
say? He said like a one-liner.
Oh, I don't even know. Damn it.
Well, it was something like, it's kind of coming back to me, but it was something like, I guess you did recognize me. Or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Fix us in the subreddit. Go ahead. Get over there. Plottytime subreddit. Start the conversation.
So you go through the headquarters and you eventually find out that Hansen was using the psychic thing to build genetically modified super soldiers
Oh, yeah.
with psychic attacks. And you start hearing, and you're like, I got to go back to Dobransk and figure out what's going on. So boom, you flash back again.
So, was Hansen the money man here?
Hansen was working on the project with Grenko.
Yeah, Grenko needed asylum, and Hansen's like, yeah, we'll bring you to the United States. Just fucking give us all your information and shit, and we'll
Well,
bring
okay.
you
So
over.
it was more of a blackmail taking advantage of the situation.
Sort
rather
of.
than
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So you flash back to the future and you find the one survivor left in the village who's dying. And she's like, you got to save the kids. They're underneath the town in a lab, but nobody can go except this guy.
Yeah,
She
she's like,
points to Vatic.
only you can do it.
You have a special thing. The kids won't kill you. Everybody else, they'll just.
Yeah, they'll just slaughter.
So you're like, all right, guess I got to go alone and save all the kids.
He doesn't question it.
No. But you go through and it's like, you see more Russians and stuff removing intel, and it shows a cutscene where Hansen's like, all right, as soon as we get all his research done and he explains everything, just kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't need him anymore.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
yeah. We are just here for the research. We don't care about Grenko.
There's no way throughout all of his research and notes that we'll ever need to have him elaborate on any of this or talk about it at all.
Yeah, he's
No,
written
he
everything
kept
down.
very good notes.
Let's just kill the old man. He's clearly labeled everything.
Yeah. If we ever have a question, we just go through his own appendix he made.
Yeah, I think that's a little short-sighted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
the easiest way and the American way that we would fix this is we would just
Throw
give the
money
guy
at it?
like throw money. Just give him a mansion, give him a huge house.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know what? This money's going to keep coming if you be fucking cool about this and you give us all your research. He'd be like, yeah, clearly. Yeah, I'm in.
Well, he really wants
Sold.
to work on it, though. He
Let him.
Hey,
We're
he's
taking
a
it.
weirdo. He likes
Yeah.
working on kids and shit. I don't know.
Well, he's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah, I bet he has.
Well, you go through this.
I mean, let me rephrase here. I don't think it's cool that this experiment is happening.
All right.
I'm just saying, if there was an asset in another country America really wanted, they would give them
Yeah,
money, not just
yeah, we
kill
get
them
it.
immediately. Well, you didn't sound like you got it. You were implying
well, you're
that I
often
thought
on the
it was,
side of Nazis here. It was nice of
Oh.
you.
we should
here
be
we go.
studying children. Here we go. Okay.
Anyway, you go through the facility and you rescue a bunch of kids, and like they're like, thanks, whatever, we can get out of here. Well, you're gonna help us. Eventually, you run into Grenko, and he starts explaining what he was doing, and
Yeah. He's like, hey, you're one of those guys with Hansen. Hey, why don't I just tell you what's happening here?
yeah,
Oh, you're one of us? Cool. Anyway, so what we were doing right now is...
yeah, he's just finding special kids and give them powers, and Grenko's like, Hansen's taking me to the U.S., and he's like, I don't know.
Sure he is.
So it goes back to the present, and you come across Hansen, and I just wrote Hansen waxes poetic about human trials because he goes on about, oh, we should do this, we don't need to blah, blah, and me, I'm hurting people, you murdered how many people to get here, and he's not wrong.
Yeah.
And John's like, no, that was, I mean, I don't have exactly his quote, but that was his argument. Like, yeah, well, no, I didn't.
And he's like, do you think I let you escape unintentionally? Of course I let you go because that was the test. I wanted to see what happened. And I've inserted people with these powers all over the country, and I guess in children is the thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what game did we just do? Dead Rising.
Dead Rising.
Yes,
Yes, I was
exactly.
just going to make this. Yes.
Then he's like, well, I'm going to kill you, Hansen. What are you going to do about it? And he's like, I got Jane Wilde over here with a gun to her head.
Oh, no.
What?
And then you're like, okay, I can't do anything about it.
And he literally says the words, you can't change the past.
I
Yeah.
was just going to say that. You can't change the past. Oh, he might have well just been like, oh, really? And wink.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's because then after he says you can't change the past, he's like, you can't go into the past and change it. Then you kind of like starts the flashback, but you hear shots. I don't know if they shot Wilde.
Yeah, kind of made it.
It kind of made it seem that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I did get that. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the flashback, and you're asking Grenko about Hansen, and you're like, hey, buddy, Hansen doesn't give a shit about you. He only wants the samples. And then a soldier just walks in and shoots Hansen or Grenko in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, oh, this guy. That's right. I was supposed to kill him.
And then he looks at you like, oh, you're here too?
He's like, what are you doing?
How'd you
It
get
kind of reminded me of that Always Sunny when Frank just walks in and does all the coke and everybody's just staring at him and he doesn't realize it at first.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this how you start
That's a
every
good
day?
bit they've done a couple times. Like when they were in that office having that huge argument about if there was a helicopter launch, like pad on the the roof of the building, and the guy's like, "Are we gonna get to this or what?" And you didn't realize he was sitting on the other side of the desk the entire time. Again, the best bits are ones I have to explain.
Exactly.
So, and then you escape from this Russian facility and you're looking for, and it kind of flashed back to the present, and you start looking for Hansen throughout the thing, and you start having hallucinations kind of your flashbacks and the present mixing together.
What?
And here comes the big reveal. You get a hallucination of yourself from the beginning of the game in the hospital.
No.
And you're like, hey, buddy, this is only one possible future. And he's like, then you find, it goes through this long explanation, but, and Wilde helps explain it.
So it turns out the present was the future?
No.
Really? That's what I got out of it.
No. His flashbacks are the present.
Yeah.
That's
So the present
The past is
is
the present.
possible futures.
God damn it. So
What you think is the present
I think
is his vision of the future.
Yeah. The present is possible futures.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And that,
yes, but they keep changing.
Yeah. That's how we could change them because they were just possibilities.
It also turns out that the first psychic ability you ever unlocked in the game was, I guess, what they call precognition.
Mm-hmm.
So all of your things of the future are you using precognition to see what's happening, and then you go through and save the people.
It's kind of like reversed to what they lead you to believe.
Yeah, they lead you to believe you're changing the past, but you're only seeing a possible
You're only
future.
changing the future.
Yeah. So then it's just you going around and you just have, they tell you had the ability to see the future the whole time, and the children knew it. And that's why they brought you here, because they wanted to see you be saved. And then you come across Hanson in the facility. And there's a nice little thing here where the children help to kill you. And then I don't know what they plan on doing with Hanson in his body, but the children are doing something weird.
I assume they ate him. Like that's
kind of what it looked like, but
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, kids, yeah, go get. Oh my god, eating his liver.
That's what they taught him.
Dawn of the Dead. Holy shit! Can you believe all that funny stuff we just said about Second Sight?
I can't believe how many times you kept saying this is a time travel game.
He keeps bringing it up.
I know.
But
said it a lot.
It was so true.
Well, one time I said in the past, one time I said in the present, then I went back to the past. See,
Wow.
See what I'm doing there?
That's smart.
That was number 4.3, Second Sight. Now, we're going to talk about episode 4.2.
Number 4.
This was a later one, episode 185. It released in August 25th, 2022.
All right.
And it is another Syintist pick.
Fucker.
Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, well
It's a Sly game. That's a given.
if it's Sly, it's got to be top 5. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's where Bentley's voice came from. Yeah, well, props to them, right?
Yeah.
It was 20%
a good Sly.
of downloads.
I don't remember how it ranked compared to other Sly games.
I don't know.
I can
That we
look it
saw.
up. But can you go over what happened in Sly 3, the story? Can you remember what the story is?
What was this story?
Sly gets together his gang to go look for the Sly Vault, the Cooper Vault.
Oh, the vault. Yeah, okay.
And the other guy was trying to find it that used to work with his, well, spoilers for the end of the game, worked for his dad.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if you
if
listen
you
to
listen
the
to
thing,
this, you listen to that.
But yeah, you made friends with Panda King, was your bad guy in the first one, and then there's Dimitri, and
Remember the bad guy was just making canes trying to unlock the vault?
yeah, and he had a plug for a head, and he would plug into things and control them.
Yep. That's pretty neat.
Okay, so Sly Cooper 1, still the most popular episode, we ever did. You can go back to episode 9 and listen to it. That was released April 4th, 2019, and we did not rate that game.
Oh, it would have been.
No, we rated Killzone the week before. We forgot about the next week's Sly Cooper, and then we brought it back for the game after Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days. So those are some early missteps.
Well, we didn't even have the system then; it wasn't designed.
Seriously.
No, it wasn't optimized
That's why
like
it
we have
was
it now.
so downloaded, because we didn't rate it.
Maybe
It's rare.
that's where we went wrong.
And then later that year, July 25th, 2019, we did Sly 2, Band of Thieves, and that we gave a 43.
Yeah, that's pretty high
Yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah, this one coming in at a 36. That's about right, I'd say. Oh, well, I mean, this system's perfect. I don't know, that's about right.
All right, that's perfectly right. You guys all know.
Yeah, I like going over the Sly games. They're fun. Is that all of them? Did we do all of them?
no, there's still another one.
Well, that depends who you ask.
Oh, okay.
Some say they ended at 3.
The hardcore fans, you're saying? The real Sly heads?
Yeah, and then 4 was just an add-on. It was a money grab. That's what I've read on the forums. I don't know if you guys freak with them.
Are you being honest, or are we just riffing here?
No,
Oh, yeah. Okay. 4th is an add-on.
I'm just fucking making that up. But yeah,
Damn it, I fell for it.
I'm pretty sure if people consider what is the 4th one?
It's,
Scientist.
Thieves in Time or whatever.
Thieves in Time. So it's just like, yeah, it has nothing to do with the story, right?
Well, yeah. kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a one-up story thing? It's not canon?
It's all part of the story, but that's not the game we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. We're talking about Sly 3.
No, the one that is canon and people loved, and yeah, it was good game.
And then, you know what? I think I actually asked this in the episode, but I don't remember what we said. Did they mention the Sly Vault before this game, or was that just for this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a money grab 1.0.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that Sly and his family of thieves had a family vault.
I'm not exactly sure if he knew about it. I don't remember.
Yeah. It's just weird that he didn't know about it. Well, he was also an orphan, and he didn't know much about his family, so he kind of like had to uncover it as the games went on. Fucking, it's whatever.
It makes total sense, man. I have no problem with that.
It makes enough sense to me. I'll say that. Well, now that we talked a little bit about what we remember from Sly Cooper 3, Honor Among Thieves,
Ooh.
How about we play us a clip? How about it?
Let's fucking check it out.
Now.
Was that the end or the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was the end. That was the end.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, the whole thing is to sabotage because nobody knows how to fly.
Yeah.
In their crew.
I guess they got to try and make it so they can win.
Yeah.
And then they do a whole bunch of other Sly stuff to try and make it possible for them to win. And Murray rips down communication towers. They track some gunships and blah, blah, blah. The Baron uses a frequency to control them. They do all that. And eventually you end up, Sly fights the Baron. And Sly ends up beating the Baron.
On the wing of a plane.
Yep, that sounds like an
But
axiom
he
almost.
just learned how to fly.
Right.
Well, someone else is flying it as you're fighting back.
Yeah.
Or it's remote controlled because the Black Baron is actually Penelope in disguise.
Get the fuck out.
What? Didn't see it coming.
No. Seriously.
I didn't.
It was very surprising.
Didn't.
And it goes through this whole backstory of how they wouldn't let her in because she was a girl, so she had to dress up as this
I
guy.
thought she was too young.
It might be both.
Oh, that's probably, yeah.
And she just kind of got caught up in the identity.
Because she got in, she won, and she kept winning. So.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, that happens a lot. You know, people get caught up in their lie and then just keep going with it.
Right.
But Penelope's like, all right, yeah, I guess I'll help because you proved you were the best at what you do and whatever. So boom, you got another member to your crew. So you're at 5 strong.
All right.
So she joins the gang.
Yep, Penelope joins the gang. And so they're going through Bentley's plan. He's like, we need a demolition expert. And I don't want to tell you this, Sly, but the best person in the game is the Panda King.
Oh, shit. He was in 2?
He was in 1.
1.
He's actually one of the people who killed your father. One of the Fiendish 5.
Fiendish 5, that's it.
And
We got there.
Yeah, exactly. But what's he
Sly-
doing now?
well, Sly's very against this because, you know, he killed Sly's parents.
Right.
He was one of the 5 people who did it. And, Bentley keeps trying to sell him. He's like, well, he's now a monk. He stopped the life of crime. You may remember him. I believe his plan in the first game was to bury towns in snow to get them to, like, pay for... Like, he was blowing up and making avalanches or something like that.
It sounds familiar. Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, it could have been any of these.
I didn't
games.
listen to
That
the
sounds
first
very
one. I
well.
only listened to the second one.
You're like, well, we need him. And then Sly eventually grudgingly accepts. And so you're off to China to try and recruit the Panda King to your team.
I have a fucking awesome quote here from when they're in China and they're trying to do their whole plan, and it's just pinwheel destabilization is the cornerstone of this plan.
That is a good one.
It's just stupid.
Well, you get there and you find Panda King is kind of like meditating or whatever, and you get to where he is and he won't wake up, and the guru has this great plan of linking, like mind melding Sly and Panda King together. So he does it, and then you have to fight Panda King in Panda King's mind.
It makes sense. It's like the Matrix, really.
And then they kind of like whatever, and then the guru eventually convinces Panda King to join the gang.
Join the gang
If they help Panda King save Panda King's daughter, because her daughter was kidnapped and is being forced to marry General So.
General Sao Chicken.
Yeah, he is a chicken.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to say General Sao so many times, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah, they definitely
We
did.
know, we know what
it's
you're doing.
spelled different, but anyway.
It's like TSAO or something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll refer to him as the General from now on. But Sly is like, hey, well, Panda King, you did kill my parents, but I'll help save your daughter. So they launch this plan, and here Murray finds the van frozen in water that disappeared, that Chump Slap referred to at the beginning of this, that happened at the end of the second game.
I love how he says, oh my God, that's the van. I don't remember where they finished the first game, but he's like, it went on an iceberg from the second game. And Penelope's just like, yeah, that makes sense.
This game's very self-aware that way.
Yeah.
It's like finding another member of the gang.
Fucking A, Murray.
It was frozen in Canada. That's where it ended in the first one.
Yeah.
And so they get to this plant and they're like, well, we got to steal his computer so we know what's going on. They go to steal his computer and then Sly finds out it was a trap. That Sao known all this was happening because their original plan failed.
Sure.
Doesn't General steal Bentley's computer and they're trying to get it back?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something silly.
That's right. He steals the computer and he chases them and it's a trap. Then you have to fight the general in a sacred forest and it's like this hidden tiger foot battle scene.
Yeah.
They're jumping
on bamboo shoots.
And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I wrote the general goes full misogyny right here, but Sly gets the computer back. I'm assuming it's something about Panda King's daughter.
I don't remember.
And she doesn't
he's being real fucking misogynist.
Yeah. So the gang's like, all right, well, now we got to get the daughter back. Because I guess Bentley can't come up with a plan without his computer, but he gets the computer. And they hatch this ridiculous plan about the treasure room and going underneath it and blowing things up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, of course, Carmelita shows up again. And eventually you break Jing King, which is Panda King's daughter, out.
Yes.
I put Murray cannonballs from the top of the treasure room. He definitely does that and then knocks it over.
Murray's the best.
And of course, the general's pissed, so he summons a dragon, and you have to fight and escape that. And then it ends up being this ridiculous, convoluted thing where Carmelita dresses up as a fake bride and is taken to the stage to try and marry the general, and she catches him.
Yeah, because Sly makes sure she hears him whispering a plan to Bentley. And he's like, we're going to go with plan Alpha. So stuff.
But you've saved Jing King, and then begrudgingly, Panda King and Sly make up enough to do this. So Panda King feels like he's paying back Sly for helping.
Right.
Then immediately after this, your old buddy Dimitri calls in a favor.
You didn't wait long.
No. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. It's a crazy favor, too.
Yeah. You have to... Dimitri's grandfather apparently was this expert diver and had a suit. A scuba suit of whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was stolen by Black Spot Pete.
Yeah. The blind parrot.
Yeah, the blind parrot. And you have to go and figure out what happened. And I just put you duped the old man.
Yeah.
To tell you where the treasure is. You lying to who you are. I even wrote, it's a classic old man scam.
It so is.
Classic old man scam.
It's like calling an old guy up and being like, hey, it's your grandson.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of dickish of them, but...
Right. But he finds out
that there's that Captain Lafouille, the parrot pirate captain, stole the treasure map for him.
Right, because he had it hidden somewhere and he had a map to the treasure. Right.
And then you have to go to Bloodbath Bay, which is a great name.
That is nice.
And eventually you search through Captain Lafouille's stuff, doing Sly stuff, and you find out where the map is. And I wrote here that Bentley starts to get a little jealous of Sly because Penelope's all gushy over him.
Dude, she is so gushy.
Yeah. And then eventually Bentley and Penelope steal the map. And then they steal a boat to try and get out of the bay.
Not just a regular boat, like a fucking pirate
boat.
Like
a pirate ship.
Yeah.
They have a van. And then they had to fly here. So, I mean, they got whatever.
Yeah, what do you need a fucking ship for?
Whatever. So you follow the map, and then you get to this island, and you dig up the treasure, and Dimitri's all happy. He's like, oh, I got my scuba gear.
Nice.
And then, of course, Captain Lafouille shows up.
Oh, it's an ambush.
Yep. Grabs Penelope and holds her hostage. Takes all the loot. Then you do this stupid ship attack thing, and Sly jumps. They had this huge plan, and eventually save Penelope, get the scuba gear, and beat Lafouille.
Yeah, the guru fucking mind melds a fucking squid. And
Yeah,
he uses it
a
to
giant
attack
kraken.
people.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
He's the most important person in this crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He has mind powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually you take care of Lafouille. Dimitri joins, and Bentley did this heroic thing to save Penelope, so now Penelope's all gushy over Bentley.
Aw. Good for Bentley, dude.
So now you have the entire crew. I guess Dimitri's just joining because he wasn't really part of it. They never actually decided they needed him.
They said they needed a frogman for something, but I don't know what.
I mean, he called in the favor and was like, yeah, I'll help.
Yeah. He's like, thanks, guys. All right, well, yeah, I'm in. In for Penny and for pound.
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever
That's a
that
saying.
saying is.
That's a saying people say.
I think
Yeah,
it is.
for sure.
So then it cuts back to the very beginning of the game where Sly's being crushed.
Boom.
And then he starts reminiscing of his team and the vault, and he wonders what's in it. And then he starts pining for Carmelita. He's like, "Oh, I've wasted my entire life."
That's his last thoughts. Like in his brain, he's dying. He's like, man, I should have really.
I should have really banged that with. Yeah. Which is, well,
Let's not even get into it. Sly's not the greatest guy.
No.
He's a career criminal, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And he's pretty scumbaggy too,
Right.
as we'll see later, even more.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
But then Carmelita shows up, and then everybody starts fighting Dr. M. Sly gets thrown and kind of knocked out, concussed.
Oh, and his cane goes flying.
Yeah. The gang reaches him and is like, well, we got to take him. He's got a major concussion. So the rest of the gang, the other 5-6 members, decide they're going to recover the cane. And there's this long plan with sharks and magnets. And eventually the guru gets it. And Dimitri,
Oh, that's why they need Dimitri to swim to turn the magnets off to
Something
draw
like
the
that.
sharks to the magnets that was
yeah.
holding the cane.
But the cane gets knocked into the water and Dimitri goes after it. Which I remember playing this part because you have to keep switching between characters and
Really?
using all of them to try and do it, which is kind of cool.
Was it fun?
I enjoyed all the Sly games.
Yeah, well, I mean, this part.
Yeah, if I remember. It's been a long time.
Right.
But anyway, Dr. M grabs it, and then Slice wakes up. He's like, oh, we got to get the cane from Dr. M. We can't let him do it. I'm like, well, Sly, you really been concussed hard, man.
Yeah. Relax.
This
bro.
isn't a football game. You can't go back in.
Nice.
And we're back. And
Oh
now
my
we're going
God.
to talk about the next game.
Wasn't ready for that either.
You just listened to a clip from Sly 3 Otter Among Thieves for that one. Well, now we're going to talk about the final entry, 4.1 in the 4 series. Oh, dude, and I fucked up the alphabetical order of this. Wow. Great.
Coming in at number 4.
It's okay, because they all had the same score of 36. This is episode 188 that aired September 15th, 2022.
3 weeks after.
Shadow Warrior with a score of 36.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Shadow Warrior.
That's the one where you're playing as the mob guy that works for some guy and you're going to buy a sword. Then the guy double crosses you and you kill everybody and there's a bunch of demons coming out of the ground.
Oh, right. Where you're buying a sword for somebody else. And then the guy's like, no, we just want to see who was trying to buy the sword.
Yeah, right. And the whole thing is you want the 3 swords.
Right.
But the sword itself was actually 3 swords and you had to go to those weird marionette puppet things to get the...
Oh, yes, that god made.
Yeah.
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 That was good.
To get them.
I think...
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was an interesting way to tell a story. I'll give him that.
I liked it. There's also a Shadow Warrior 2 that came out, which we'll probably get to someday.
I think there's a third one.
Yeah, there is a third.
Possibly.
We definitely should get to it. I mean, if we're going to pretend we like this game.
What was the name of your trickster buddy that was jammed inside you?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
I have no idea. Let's see if I can find the notes quick.
Yeah, real quick here. Let's.
Still can't believe I fucked up the alphabetical order of those. Like, that's the hardest thing. Come on.
Well, it was 3.
Hoji. Hoji is his name. I found it.
Hoji. Oh, that's right, because it's almost like Hoju,
Yeah.
Which is your cat's name.
which is my cat's name, and it's short for Homer Jr.
Short for Homer Jr. So let's make that very clear to everybody that's out there listening. It's a Simpsons reference?
Seriously? I tell everyone my cat's name is Hoju, and they look at me like, oh, what the fuck's that all about?
Yeah.
If you don't get it, then I don't even know why I'm talking to you, man.
Good point.
If you didn't live exact life I did.
Yeah, so I remember this being a solid game. It was a fun story. It was a little, like, childish with its humor. Like, it really felt like a... Was this a Pseudo-51 game? No, it wasn't a Pseudo-51 game.
This is way too normal for Suda.
For sure. I liked it.
Who picked that one?
That was a Poppascotch pick.
Poppascotch pick.
Ooh, sick.
So out of the top 6 so far, Poppascotch has 1. Dr. Syintist has 2.
That says
That's
a lot about the viewers, because I use their picks most of the time.
Pushing the blame. Attaboy.
Yeah, right.
Well, how about we listen to a little excerpt from that episode right now?
Now?
Yeah?
Here it is. Comic book guy, so he has a bunch of rare comic books and cases in his nerd cave. And Hoji's kind of making fun of him.
Yeah. That is a sweet-ass crossbow, though.
It is super sweet. So through the game as we're going on, it turns out the golem is not actually, it technically isn't a golem, it's called a whisperer.
Ooh. What does that mean?
And this is where the lore starts getting heavy here.
Okay.
These whisperers have a memory engraved in them.
Instead of a heart?
Thanks for the assist.
That was a good question, Chump Slap.
Thank you.
So since no creature from the Shadow Realm can wield the sword, they use the Whisperer as a vessel to carry it, and they control him from the shadows.
Makes sense.
Pretty much a puppet.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a marionette. They call them puppets several times.
Like a golem almost.
Man, that where that name came from?
Oh, duh. That makes a lot more sense, though.
So you take your sword, you have the first sword now, you stab her, and then you get transported into a memory, which is like a comic book section. And just to go through this, it's about a soldier who fell in love with a woman named Amona, which is not spelled like that, but that's how they say it, so that's how I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. She got fed poison, and she fell asleep, and I'm gonna get into all this lore a lot more, but they do start giving you hints about what's going on here. It turns out that Amona is actually a piece of Japanese lore. She's a yokai that's supposed to be the god of rain. So that's real part of the god culture.
Okay.
God culture.
I don't know what else to call it. Like, the Romans had their gods, or the Greeks, the Scandinavian ones are there. You get
Norse.
it. You get it. So the memory sucked you. When you looked at this memory, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, or they don't really explain it, because you saw that, you got sucked into the Shadow Realm with Hoji. Mm-hmm. So you boss fight.
Say Hoju.
I know.
Am I saying it wrong?
No, you're saying it right.
No, that's my cat's name.
No, Hoagie.
Hoju.
Hoju.
Ho Junior.
Homer Jr., dude.
Okay. You boss fight Gozu, which I'll explain later. He's one of the brothers of the ancients. Hoji pulls out Gozu's essence, I guess, out of this big, huge dude with machine guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an armored minotaur, but that seems out.
Yeah, and then Gozu says he only gave up his memories because of Enra, who's the boss guy of the ancients. Again, I'll get into that in a second. Enra's the one who banished Hoji. Enra's also trying to get the sword. So Enra is set up as the big bad in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is also trying to get the sword. So you take a chi portal, you pull off all of Gozu's chi, so that you can use that so that Hoji can use that to power himself to get you guys both back to Earthrealm.
Well said. Yep.
Whoa, it's a lot going on in this
I know, right?
Then you continue on. You get to a shipyard bingo board spot. Always a shipyard.
Always a dock somewhere.
Always a docks. And find another whisperer at the bottom of one of the a wreck that they pulled up from the ocean somewhere. Mm-hmm. And then on the way, you find out as you're going through this thing, killing all these demons, that Hoji was actually the guy that made all the demon armor. Mm-hmm. That was like his job.
Trickster armorer.
Yeah, okay.
And then you run into the Koigami twins.
Who are those?
That sounds like they're assassins.
I was going to say, could they be assassins?
They are two female assassins who are smoking hot and finish each other's sentences.
Twins.
To finish each other's sandwiches.
Remember that commercial back in the day? Twins.
Was it a Doublemint commercial?
So
No, I think it was
gross.
Budweiser or something.
Oh, that's right.
It's like the games, beers, and twins.
I love football on TV.
That's
Those
it.
ones?
Oh, man.
Wait,
And twins.
were they talking about real twins? Or were they being misogynistic?
No, they're talking about these two.
No. Okay.
Are we talking about the TV twins? Or
I
the-
forget what we're talking about.
We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Oh, sweet. I haven't seen that in forever.
I know,
don't
right?
remember that at all. I'll have to check it out.
It's not going to hold up.
It turns out that the Koigami twins are also assassins that also work for Zilla. But you never worked with them. They're kind of doing their thing. You're doing your thing. You know who they are.
Yeah,
They have a
assassins
rep,
don't
but-
work together.
I mean, how many
they're
people
exactly.
do you actually know at work?
all of
Yeah, they're like coworkers. You know.
Fair.
So you make your way towards the twins. You end up rescuing them, but before that, you overhear them talking, and they discuss how you, Lo Wang, you're effective, but you're unpredictable, and they don't really understand or know if they trust you yet.
That's fair. I got the same vibe.
That's how I feel about everybody at work.
But it's like a coworker, they're trapped, they need you to get him out. You're there, so they're like, fuck, I guess we gotta trust him to a point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you rescue them, and they head to the high ground, and you need to get to the Manticore, which is actually a tank that's in a deep sea excavator, which is where the sword part is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're mostly like doing their own thing, fighting demons off screen. You're talking to each other, you're going to this thing, whatever. You're kind of like parallel doing it, whatever. And then you fight through the ship, and then you get to a point where you're like, you know what? Fuck them. And you blow them up, trying to kill them.
Yes.
But
also because Zilla wanted the whole ship blown up because there's evidence on there of some sort.
Oh, that's right. He wanted the evidence destroyed. So you're like, well, I don't really trust them anyway. So you decide to blow them up with the twins still on board.
Sounds like a good
They somehow both survive it, and boy, are they pissed.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
No, not at all.
Sounds just like work.
You reach the bottom of the ship. You find the old shipwreck with the Whisperer in it. I'm really enunciating. I am 100% sober right now.
That makes one of us. Two.
Get the sword. You combine it with your main sword. It kind of does this really cool animation where it like sucks it together and becomes one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's 2 out of 3. And you find out that Zilla supposedly has the other one.
Makes sense why he wants the other two.
Yeah.
Right? So you stab the Whisperer. You get more backstory that Hoji already talked about as we were going on, which I'm going to get to in a sec. It turns out the big piece that you get from there is Enra banished Hoji. And then it also is known to you that Hoji is the one who made the Whisperers.
Right. He invented them.
He invented them, but at the same time, he's like, dude, I only made one. I don't know where the fuck 3 of these things came from.
Yeah, right.
Which they never explain. But anyway.
Because he doesn't remember it.
Yeah, he made
That's right.
spoiler.
Yeah. Oops.
I'll get into the lore. It's down here somewhere on this list. But you wake up in the Shadow Realm again, because that's how it works. You know, you get the essence, the chi, from one of these things. You get sent to the Shadow Realm. You got to fight him to get the chi. It's the same pattern again. You're mad at Hoji because he never made this whole fucking Whisperers thing common knowledge. He like held that from you. And then he also was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm one of the ancients.
Yeah.
Could have led with that.
Right.
And he's like, look, I made the Whisperers. That's all I know. I don't know why. That memory is locked in a whisper. Conveniently.
Yeah, that memory is locked in the first Whisper I ever made. So
you then boss fight Mizu, who is Hoji's brother, also one of the ancients.
the winged horse face man.
Yeah.
I put Ice Griffin.
Oh, nice.
Ice Griffin, that's a good one. And then Hoji taunts him and then grabs his chi again. This is where you actually find out that your boss Zilla made a deal with Enra.
Right.
And that Zilla's holding the Whisperer for a ransom, but you don't understand why yet. So you're like, I gotta go talk to Zilla.
Yeah, you're like, that's why the Whisperers weren't moving and they couldn't go back to the Shadow Realm because he was holding one of them hostage.
Oh, okay. I didn't know why they couldn't go back to the Shadow. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you head back to Earthrealm, and fucking Hoji just portals you back to like the side of the mountain, and you barely hang on, which was a fun little bit of banter. But
oh yeah, there's every time he portals you, it's like, oh, you're just falling off a cliff or you're barely making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a bit they do. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's their thing. Then you get in a screen call, a video call with Zilla, and you tell him, hey, I got the 2 parts of the sword. And he's like, and dude, I don't know what happened to the twins. I got separated. I don't know where they are.
Sounds just like work.
Mm-hmm.
And you're loyal to him. You're telling him kind of the truth about what happened, but not really, because you don't exactly trust him at this point.
I wouldn't.
Not at all.
He's the boss.
A boss of assassins.
Yeah.
Exactly. They all have like hidden money and bailout plans, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
You seem like, and you're talking to him like you're very loyal and you're going to give him the 2 swords. So Zilla's convinced. He's like, fucking finally some good luck. All my other guys are dead. What the fuck's happening here? This is great. Bring him here. So you fight demons all the way to get to the room. You get to the room where Zilla is, and you sneak in. You see him talking to like a door portal, which is actually the voice of Enra. A lot of overlap with Syintist day job.
Night job.
We don't even talk about the time you have to cut off a scientist's head and use it for the retina scanner.
It does happen.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass.
And then you hide. Enra convinces Zilla that you are actually there to kill him. And Zilla's like, no, he's my best guy. What are you talking about? And he's like, yo, how would he even know there was a second sword?
It's true.
He's like, and you're like, oh, fuck. He's got me there.
I didn't know about it. Hoji did.
Yeah. Ooh.
That would be a good one. But I wonder if Enra knows Hoji's there. Well, he banished him to the
Yeah,
Earth
he
realm.
definitely knows.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if he knows he's involved, but he can assume it, I guess. I don't know. So
Well, he knows.
Zilla's now able to walk because that was part of the deal. You make it so he can walk again. He was wheelchair bound previously. I forgot to mention that because you don't really know until this point. Cause
Yeah,
Zilla's on,
right?
like, a video
What a
screen.
fucking...
How would you know?
What a surprise.
So you fight Zilla, you strike him down temporarily, but afterwards, Enra pulls Hoji back into the Shadow Realm,
No.
and Zilla, I guess, runs away.
Yeah, he kind of just like, oh, I'm out. Peace.
Oh, that's right. You fall through the floor into all these different levels, and you fight a whole shitload of
Yeah.
things. And then when you finally get to him, passing through the thing, he's throwing out a bunch of demons at you. You all fight. You get to another platform. Zilla's away. The twins help him escape. And then eventually, through a bunch of fighting, you get your way to Zilla's hidden whisperer, who reveals the backstory of Jing.
And who is Jing?
Now it's time for lore.
All right, here we go.
So this is what happened in the Shadow Realm, the story that led up to Wang and Zilla's involvement in any of this. So you got Enra rules the Shadow Realm. And then he has, I don't think if they're his sons, I think they're all brothers, right?
Yeah, they're all brothers.
So he has brothers Hoji, Gozu, Mizu, Jing, and their sister, Amona.
Right.
So Hoji and Amona had an incestuous affair. And since she's the god of rain, this made her very happy. So she stopped crying, because every time she cries, it rains, because that's part of this lore. So it made a huge, terrible drought. Enra's like, what the fuck is going on? He found out about this. He separated those two. And as a punishment, the brothers, Gozu, Meizu, and Jing, cut up Hoji's face. And that's why he wears a mask all the time.
Right. Cut his face right off.
Amona accepted the responsibility of the realm. She's like, fuck, you're right. I gotta cry. I gotta make rain happen. I control the rain. I get it. So Hoji was all emo about the breakup, and he got in his mind that Enra was this terrible tyrant, and he wanted to get back at him. So he planned to trick Jing into poisoning Amona. And this was, I guess he manipulated Jing. Like he talked him into it or something like that.
Well, no, Jing was giving ammonia drinks every month or week or whatever so she could sleep. And Hoji's like, oh, here, give her this drink. And then he fucking poisoned it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess because Hoji makes the drinks.
It was weird.
All right.
It's very strange.
So he gave him a super strong one to kill her. It turns out she didn't die. She just went into a long, forever coma.
Yeah.
And then before Jing could attack Enra and kill him, he was stopped by Mizu, who was the most loyal to Enra.
Right.
So, now that this has all gone down, Enra bans Hoji to the Earth Realm as a punishment. So Hoji's on Earth, Enra's still alive and running the Shadow Realm, but it's going to be drought as fuck because Amona can't reign because she's in a forever coma. He decapitates Jing for his treachery.
What did he do with his head?
He just fucking sits it on a fucking pole in a cave. That's all he does.
Yep.
And then he takes his body and controls it as a vessel, as like a fighter in the Shadow Realm.
Bodyguard, pretty much.
Yeah, but now the Shadow Realm's fucked because there's no rain. So Enra gets it and finds out that if he sacrifices one of these ancients, the brothers and sisters I've mentioned, then he can wake up Amona, and that would bring her back so she could fucking do the rain thing again. So he needs the Kage. It's the only thing that can actually kill an ancient.
The Nobitsura Kage?
That's the same one.
The very same. So he has brokered a deal with Zilla to get it. That all happened, I guess, over hundreds of years, and leads us right up to the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I would have said that at the beginning, we'd ruin a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So you get to the Shadow Realm again, because remember, you just got Jing's backstory from.
You just killed the last Whisperer.
Yeah.
Right. So you get to the Shadow Realm, as is tradition. You find the Jing's severed head, and he's like, fuck, can you like move me to anywhere? I'm so bored. It's funny because Jing is also like, he's been sitting on this pedestal for God knows how long, so he's way behind on all the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
And there's a couple bits about that. But you take his head to Hoji's workshop, you find Hoji, and he's different. The tone has changed. Something's going on. He's like, no, you know what? Give Zilla your sword. You should give it to him. You should give it to him. And he's like, that's how we'll end this. And it'll all be over, and it'll be done.
It's all my fault. Just give it to him.
Yeah.
He's like, I fucked up. Just let's end this. So he seems to be like bowing down to Enra. And then when you get closer, you see that Hoji's making another whisperer in order to forget you.
Forget the whole game. Yep.
So you convince him. He's like, hey, we're bros, and you can't just go along with Enra's plan. We need to work together to save the goddamn Shadow Realm.
We got to get rid of Enra because Enra's the bad man.
Exactly. And then everything will be fine.
Work.
So you give him his mask that you picked up when it was left on the Earth Realm, and he's like, oh shit, you're right, we are bros. So they decide to head back to the Earth Realm with a convenient store of chi that was just in Hoji's lab. Which I guess I'll buy. I guess you got to use some magic shit to make a whisperer, so why wouldn't he have it in his lab?
Yeah, plus he hasn't been back to the lab since he's been banished, so he didn't have time to like grab the shit anyway, you know? Has to be there. Makes sense.
I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
Oh shit, that was a good clip.
Oh, no, dude, that's one of the best clips we ever did.
How'd you clip that together so funny? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was all you guys, really.
It's practice, really.
Practice,
Wow.
sweating away at the fucking Dolby Audition, putting this shit together.
My God.
Taking out all our and so, all those. That's fun every
All
week.
all those scientist farts, you know,
The burps, the farts, the coughs,
the
all
stomach
that stuff.
gurgles.
Some of the more spicy talk. I mean, that stuff got.
That's mostly Chump Slap.
Shut up, man.
That's a lot of Chump Slap.
These guys don't know.
All right, so let's just talk about number 3. We're out of the 4s.
Oh.
We got number 3 here. This is a game that I did not expect to be this good. It was episode 183, released August 11th, 2022. It's a Chump Slap pick.
Oh, wow.
Murdered. Sole suspect.
Oh, I can't take full
Yeah,
credit for that. That was a fan.
Yeah, you just shit all over those fans. Now who hooked you up? Huh?
Thanks, fans. You got one in there.
There you go.
I wish I remember who it was.
That was a good game. Yeah.
That was a fun story. Everyone likes a whodunit.
Yeah.
Run it down for us, Chump.
It was a whodunit. It was in New England,
Salem,
Massachusetts.
right?
Yeah,
it was in Salem.
Yeah, yep.
A lot to do with witches.
There were witches, ghosts.
I thought it was a very interesting tactic to kill the main character in like the first 5 minutes of the game, and then you basically play the rest of it as a
Yeah,
ghost.
and then it's just trying to figure out what happened, and you have to help a young woman figure out her shit too at the same time because
Yeah, you were doing a bunch of ghost shit.
she's alive, and it was a pretty good story. I dug it.
Yeah,
Good time.
had a lot to do with witches.
This was a game that I had heard of before. Like, you didn't spring this one on us. You didn't surprise us with this game. We'd heard of it. And I think, Dr. Syintist, didn't you play it?
Oh yeah, I played it.
Of course, this is definitely
I-
a scientist play.
Can't believe I missed this because I remember when it came out, and I don't know why I was turned off by it, but I just never got around to
What
playing.
year did it come out?
Ooh, buddy, I don't have that.
Oh, damn it.
Let's
Oh, well, don't
find
worry
the
about
notes.
it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember ever hearing anything about it. But then again, I'm into AAA games if you haven't figured it out.
June 3rd, 2014. So it's 8 years old now. 7.5, whatever.
Yeah. That came when I fucking moved into this house.
Damn, you been there that long?
Yeah, man.
Cool. Attaboy. All right. Then let's head over to a clip of this game right
Now?
now.
Did you say meow?
Yeah. Meow. I did.
I guess. That's a
One of his powers,
detective.
yeah.
Yeah, why not? Boom. It works.
What if you get a super shit power like you can dunk now? But you're
It's not
a
a
ghost.
shit
so it doesn't-
power.
Well, no, but if you're a ghost, like you can't pick up the basketball, but you could, get air.
I'd find a
Good
ghost
dog.
basketball.
I'd be jumping around like crazy.
How are you going to find a ghost basketball?
Yeah,
Explain
seriously.
yourself.
like there isn't a ghost, there isn't a basketball that's run over by a car or something that hasn't fulfilled its duties.
But philosophically, would it then be a ghost or would it be a basketball in another form? There's questions you got to answer.
No, it's a basketball. You don't get to choose your form. It's a living basketball.
I don't think that's what the courts would say.
I don't either. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about?
Nothing on topic. That's
We were talking about basketball, ghost basketball.
Oh, the ghost
basketballs.
basketball. Okay, yeah. You find the victim.
Oh, Sophia is her name. That's what I
Sophia,
was
thank
thinking
you. So you find her, and you find out what happened to her. You see all this shit, and you're like, oh my God, she was tied to a chair. There was this bell symbol put on her, and then she was fucking drowned, dude. Sick. That is a terrible way to die. And she was asked about some type of contract. It's like, do you tell me about the contract? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Dead.
It's an obvious allusion to witch torture.
It's, yes, a little too obvious.
Being in Salem and stuff.
All right, well, fucking way to jump ahead, dude.
Yeah, come on, easy.
We didn't get there yet. Well, how's the bell work?
In general?
It's not.
I don't know how it works.
I'm just saying it's not obvious. Whatever. So they're talking about contracts, and he's like, "Okay, let's check out the book for contract speaking." And he looks through the fucking Cassandra's book, and there's a part about a mental hospital. A possible survivor was there, and she was babbling about contracts and yada yada. So he's like, "Dude, that's got to be fucking where we go from here. See what happens." How do you not know about the survivor?
That's a good point. He's the detective on the case.
Because they don't think that was part of the Bell Killer one, did they?
Well, maybe if she was just like a girl from another.
Well, she was, yeah,
murder,
she was burned to death. They didn't see the. They didn't see the bell that was written in sand on the ground because they show that pretty.
They thought it was
vividly.
a vase. They were looking at the wrong.
It was upside down, so they didn't get
Yeah.
it. I was like,
Exactly.
"There's a bell killer, and now there's a fucking vase killer." Son of a bitch.
He's just the vase killer. Just makes ghost basketballs. That's all they do.
Sick. The guy's pretty cool. So you go to this mental hospital and you find Iris Campbell. She's a survivor. She's in a high security wing of the museum. So you obviously find a way in with this Joy in tow. And boom, she can see dead people too. She's a fucking medium. And you find out she and her sister were captured by the Bell Killer.
Right.
Tied up, ready to get killed.
Right.
And Rose helped Iris escape. And Rose was burnt to death at the stake. Another finger pointed at witches.
So, like, Rose sacrificed herself so her sister
Sack
could get away.
move. Is that what you're saying?
Move.
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying.
That's what he's
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Rose sacked.
Sack
For
and
Iris.
shellac. I don't know if that's the word.
Boom. Boom, sackalacka. Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be our next
right.
T-shirt. It'll just say "sack move," but be in like a jazzy font.
I like it.
Perfect.
So, you sneak Iris out. You got to get her out of the fucking hospital. So, you're getting her out of a fucking high security wing of a hospital. And now you got a whole team. You got Joy, you got Iris, and you got Rose. Oh, Rose's ghost was possessing Iris this whole time.
I thought that was kind of
Unnecessary?
They weren't really
Yeah.
possessing. She was kind of like
Just hanging out.
dragging along, yeah.
Well, she was like in her body. She was possessing her because Ronan tries to jump inside and he's like, I was instantly booted out. What the fuck's going on? Turns out she was possessed already by Rose.
Yeah, and I guess the fact that she was possessed made her freak out and go nuts. And then as soon as she left, she was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's
so this is what happened.
right away, she's normal. It's like Rose was a medium. She knew Iris was a medium. Why did she have to possess her?
So when you possess people, all you're basically doing is listening to what they're saying.
Yeah. But you can control them a little bit.
You can edge
You
them
can
a certain
control
way.
the cat later. I don't know.
Well, no, yeah, you can kind of like try to make them reminisce or long for something. I don't know. Because you turn the one receptionist, try to like make her more sympathetic to your cause. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh, that's right. Don't you possess her and like have her look at the picture of her kid or some shit?
Yeah. You try to make
So
her
it is.
sympathetic so she lets Iris in or
Yeah.
Joy in to see Iris.
So you use your powers to manipulate,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, dude.
Sounds cool. So you send Joy, Iris, Rose back to the church. You're like, go back to the church. I'm Ronan. I'm going to go fucking check some other shit out.
Sure.
So you're like, I'm going to go to the museum because this museum pamphlet fell out of the Cassandra's book. I forgot to say that
Yeah, that was
when we first found it.
okay.
It was a little obvious, like, oh, we're going to have to come back to this.
Oh yeah, he picked it up and he goes, "The museum. I wonder if there's something there.
Yeah.
Better check on it later."
Yeah, it was stupid.
It's like, okay, easy, buddy. Let's.
It's like, all right,
We all know
little
you're going.
foreshadowy. So he goes to the museum. It's a fucking, the whole witch trials thing is at the museum. So he's like, oh, this is where he learns all the similarities to what's going on. He's like, okay. And he sees Baxter was here.
What?
Baxter?
The cop Baxter?
Yeah. He was at the museum hiding a piece of artwork that had some Bell shit on it, making it. He's obviously the Bell killer.
Obviously. I don't know who else it would be.
Right. So after you see that, you're like, all right, well, let's go fucking interrogate Baxter, see what's going on. You get outside, cop cars are flying. You're like, oh, shit. You follow the cop cars. It turns out they're going to the church, dude, where you just sent all your other teammates. So you get to the church. Oh, my God, everyone's dead. There was a whole wedding party here that was killed by the Bell killer. And then you find Iris's dead body. She was killed. You see that a fucking fountain was thrown on top of her. And then she was just killed in another way that you saw at the witch trial museum thing.
Yeah, but they said this was like the first time the Bell killer killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's not usually what the Bell
way?
killer would do. He was just trying to get after Iris. You find out that he was just chasing Iris this whole time, killing people in his way just to get to Iris.
Sure.
All right, so you possess a cat. You find a key that the killer dropped, and you find out it's a key to a mansion, an old-ass mansion called Judgment House. You're like, oh, that's got to be where he is. I'm going there. Boom. You go there. You're looking around. You're like, oh, shit, there's a cop car. It's Baxter's cop car. He's here. Boom. It's Baxter. I'm going to go in there, fucking kill him. You go in there. Baxter's dead. You're like, what the fuck, man? You talk to his ghost. Turns out Baxter never gave up on the case, even though he was demoted, dude.
Wait.
Yeah, man.
What? So he was looking for the Bell killer too the entire time?
Yeah, you should have figured that out when he saw he had Cassandra's notebook and was working on the case.
Yeah, he was also talking to her mother quite a bit about the case. You would have thought maybe.
Yeah, he knew about the case. He was on the case before. And you can't keep a fucking Baxter down, dude. He just, once he gets on the case, yeah.
Everyone knows that.
So you talk to his ghost. You're like, oh, you're not the killer. Damn it. So his ghost tells you, Cassandra's safe. Don't worry about it. She's in a safe house outside of the town. And this is where you find out who Abigail is. The girl in the beginning that taught you about the whole world of ghosting.
The person you haven't seen forever who was just in the tutorial that turned out to be super important?
Yeah. Well, you see her. There's another scene where you see her on a rooftop behind you.
You see
oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she does show up, but just like in the background.
They should have done that. They should have just had her in the tutorial. That would have been great.
Well, anyway, you find out she falsely accused people of being witches, got a bunch of people killed, and herself was hanged for such things. And before she was hanged, she vowed vengeance. She's like, I will fucking go after every witch, every medium, anyone who can see dead people until they're all dead.
I just realized they planted a little seed. I don't know if it was during the museum mock trial or if it was like a flashback or something from the Pilgrim times.
Oh,
but
yeah, you see
at one point, someone's getting like on trial and they're like, you're just going to take the word of a little girl or something like that?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, and at the museum, it's the gallows where she was killed. They have the actual gallows there.
Yeah, I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
Not bad, murdered soul suspect.
You got it, dude.
Bad.
Fucking Ronan. He is a better investigator than you are.
Does he have a last name or is Ronan his
O'Connor.
last name?
Yeah, dude,
Ronan O'Connor?
It's Massachusetts,
Yeah,
man.
it's Ronan O'Connor.
Ronan O'Connor.
Yeah, you got it.
Let's go down and go for the Red Sox.
He was orphaned, and I think he had, so who knows where he got his names from.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, his name's Ronan O'Connor.
Definitely not from someone who loved him. Anyway.
Boom. Take that, Ronan.
Yeah, I'm going to burn that fake video game character.
Well, anyway, you find out she's fucking this evil girl.
She's fucking evil girl?
She is fucking, ellipses, the evil girl. Whatever, shut up.
That doesn't change what I said.
A comma,
doesn't.
then an ellipsis.
Yeah, it was.
It makes my point even more clear, I think.
You got it.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Sure,
You find out that's what she's killing all these witches. And you're like, okay, what the fuck? How? Well, I don't know, there's some fucking clue that tells you go back to the gallows she was hanged at, because that's where she was going to kill Joy.
I don't remember what happened. that was the gallows
yeah.
where she was getting hung.
Yeah. It was the gallows at the museum. Joy was arrested at the church by Rex. Oh my God.
Yes.
I said Rex in the beginning. Remember him?
Did we mention him? Your
I did.
brother-in-law?
I barely mentioned him, but yeah. Rex, your brother-in-law, arrested Joy at the church where all the murders occurred. Right.
Yes.
So they're
That's
on the
correct.
way to the station. But then you
Yes.
find out, you hear a fucking police scanner or something that says she never made it. Rex is gone. He hasn't been back to the station or something. And you put it together, he's going to the fucking museum. I don't know how yeah.
Well, because you knew about the museum clue, and then you heard on the radio that they're like, hey, does anyone know where Rex is?
Yeah. Yeah, there you
And
go.
they're like, yeah, I haven't heard anything. Whatever. They're like, okay, well, if he comes on, let us know. And everyone's like, okay.
And then
So he didn't make it to the station where he said he was
Yeah.
going.
So now you're like, oh shit. Well, Joy's going to be murdered at the fucking gallows. We got to get there.
Right.
So you get there. And then you find out, holy shit, this little Abigail girl, she was possessing people and killing witches or mediums in the present day the whole time. She's in Rex's body right now, and she's trying to kill Joy.
That was quite a lot, because they do the reveal that it was Rex the whole time, and you're like, what? Rex?
Yeah, it didn't make sense at first.
Yeah, and then you find out he's possessed by.
And you're like, oh. So you fight Abigail, and she's showing you all this shit that happened. She's like, I don't know, the battle is you give each other memories?
I guess it's a
It was
memory
weird.
battle.
It was weird.
It's a trauma shot. I don't know.
Yeah. So she's showing you all the shit about all the dead bodies. She's like, haha, I was fucking, what's his name? Oh,
A little girl. We know. We went over there.
No, she shows you that she was Baxter, and Baxter killed you, and you're like, what the fuck? Why was Baxter killing me? And it turns out you, Ronan O'Connor, killed Sophia, the little girl that you drowned on the chair. And she's like, yeah, I jump into other bodies, kill people, and then kill that person who I used the body of. And it makes sense, you know?
How do we feel about this as a group?
I didn't see it coming.
I give them points for the effort of making something original. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. It could have just been the fucking Fight Club ending, like it's happened a billion times.
Yeah, but it just starts off, it's like, there's a ghost world. And then the end is like, holy shit, this ghost can do a lot more than you've been doing, Ronan.
Well, she's been dead a long time.
Yeah.
So
sure.
what is her power then? That she can possess someone and they're completely under her spell? The whole powers thing is not very clear.
Yeah, and then I was like, did she... Because she summons... We didn't even talk about this. The hell portals that you can't walk over.
Oh, yeah, like the whole game that's like your defense. Like you can't go past it. You got to find a way around or get someone to help you or whatever.
Yeah. And she can summon them.
You found out that I took that as she was summoning them the entire time trying to slow you down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought too.
So, yeah, I don't understand how that works. It seemed a little too clever for its own good. I guess is the best way I can say it.
I guess I didn't play it. Syintist is not talking about it, but he'll get his.
He's still here?
I guess. I think so.
What do you want me to say? Weekend at Bernie's? I was not ready for that group laugh.
Oh, you're funny, but you just laughed at the clip we just played. It's meta.
Man, that was sick.
Was sick. So we already talked about 4 games that we reviewed this year. Coming in at the top, Second Sight, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, and Shadow Warrior. Both had 36s. All three of them had 36s.
All 3 of those both games had it.
All 3 of those both 2 games had it. And then Murdered Soul Suspect coming in at number 3 with a score of 37.
Really? One above that. Damn.
Right on the heels.
This was a close year.
This was a close year. A lot of room at the top, for a lot of the top games to come out, but we didn't go over many. But what we're going to do for now, we're going to stop there for this week because we want all you people to come on back for part 2. We're going to talk about the number 2 game we reviewed, guess what? We're going to talk about the number 1 game we reviewed. And we're also going to talk about, I don't know, maybe we're going to sneak in some of the bottom games.
That's
we
what you
played
tune
this
in
year.
for. We should actually be doing this the opposite way.
Maybe, possibly. But with that, how would they send us an email, Sir Chump
If
Slap?
you don't fucking
Yeah, if you don't know how to send an email. Jeez.
I need to do a bit. Just tell them, what's the email to get to us?
It's, what is it? It's plottytime@gmail.com. Fucking ship it over there, dude.
Nailed it. And where are we at? Elsewhere online, Dr.
At
Syintist.
Plottytime on Instagram, possibly Twitter. And you can always stop by the subreddit. That'll always be there.
Fucking for
We'll
real.
always be on the subreddit, and we'll always be on YouTube. You could like and subscribe there. Really helps us out. Can't guarantee by the time you hear this, we're on Twitter. May not exist. And you can also go to our store, plottytime.com. Takes you to our eBay storefront to buy a Derf shirt.
Is anyone doing Instagram?
Oh, yeah, Instagram. I didn't see it. But Dr. Scientist did. You're
I
on
said
Instagram
Instagram
as well.
or-
Oh, okay.
Right?
Just
Yeah.
checking.
You did. I didn't reiterate. I reiterated everything but that. Anyway, as always, shout out to Ham Man. Shout out to Drago the Slago. Shout out to Blaine JJ. And shout out to Luis Guzman. More importantly than all that, don't trust Dr. Scientist. And we'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
Peace.